Welcome to the Popish Plot. I'm Nate.
I'm Jessica.
And I'm Mike.
Today we are doing another installment of our report on G.K. Chesterton's The Defendant. Today we will be discussing a defense of useful information.
I'm again it.
Yeah.
Alright, so me personally, I have to assume there's some trickery going on here because I can't think of why you would have to defend useful information.
Well, he starts off, and I believe this is the longest essay so far.
Yeah.
And normally, Chesterton's style is he sets up a proposition, and then he refutes it.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
In this case, though, he takes an unusually long time, I think because what we see is an actual turn of his mind. Because he starts off with, he's already written, the first essay we did was a defense of penny dreadfuls.
Yes.
A defense of fiction and the necessity of fiction. So he spends a good deal of time at the beginning of this essay talking about the superiority of fiction to books containing what appear to be useless trivia. Just factual knowledge that doesn't actually apply to people's lives the same way that a good piece of fiction does. And the extra length accounts for the fact that I believe he genuinely used to hold that opinion. And then, as any truly intelligent person does, when confronted with new information, he re-examined his beliefs and came to a new way of thinking. That, although, yes, genuinely useless trivia is not a good thing.
Sure, you say that until you win the trivia championship.
As I often do, yes. And I will take on anyone in single combat in Trivial Pursuit. Anyone. I'll take on teams. I don't care who you are, I'll take me against the field.
I have a friend who will probably, take you up on that. Not for herself.
Boom.
She just wants to go and, knock her son down a couple pecks.
But, again, we'll circle back to what he means towards the end.
Well, see, I did find some interesting things. And some interesting correlations to modern day. Mm-hmm. In that, first off, he talked about people who just had heads full of knowledge that while they thought it was useful, it was really mostly facts for the sake.
Bless you.
Thank you.
Bless you. It was really mostly facts for the sake of facts.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Knowing how many, how long a chain of bolts would be if you put them all end to end to end to end to end.
Or cow's tails.
Or cow's tails, yes. Where it's like
which is
nobody
completely silly. Unlike how much chain you need to go and put two mountains together, which is a useful thing.
Completely.
Exactly. And we get that now. You get the intellectual pompousness where I know all these things, therefore I must be. But no, you're not. He talks about the guy who would always go and rattle off all these just really inane facts and figures and was so dreadfully boring until the moment that he discovered that, in fact, every single one of those facts and figures was made up. At which point, now suddenly it's interesting. Mm-hmm. But he also talked about an overwhelming desire for things like gossip. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Look at the modern TV guide. What do we have? We have watching other people's lives, learning about these other people and how they live their lives. It's all gossip and voyeurism. And this is not what he's defending. What he's actually defending is information that is, in fact, useful, even if only for a time.
Mm-hmm. Jess?
Again, you guys covered all sorts of stuff, so...
So for me, where his mind turns, and he still has all the same objections he always has to, knowledge for knowledge's sake and complete and useless trivia. But a defense of useful information because it shows what is a consistent theme in Chesterton's writing: an interest in the world, in the creation, the good creation of the good God. The fact that, sure, it often manifests itself as, gossip and voyeurism, and there's all sorts of terrible things of people minding each other's business. But at the core of that impulse is a genuine interest in other people. People who should bear the image and likeness of God. And this whole world, which, if you take 1 second to look at it, it's magnificent. And at the end, he gets to something very near and dear to my heart. How this insatiable quest for just trivia information does point to the instinct of science and coming to understand the magnificence and brilliance of God's creation. So, the rebuilding of this bridge between science and human nature is one of the greatest needs of mankind. Now, in many other places, many far more able Catholic apologists and speakers have spoken of the complete lack of a conflict between faith and reason. Bishop Barron has a lot of great work, an entire website about faith, science, reason. Father Spitzer does a lot of great work at the Magus Center. The Big Bang Theory was first formulated by Father Lemaitre, when all the atheistic scientists believed that there had to be a steady state universe, because a creation points to a creator.
And then he called Einstein small-minded.
And Einstein agreed.
Yep, eventually.
So, useful information is, as much as we will always defend penny dreadfuls and the necessity of fiction, useful information is also something that points us towards our beginning and our end. The perfect union with God, the understanding of the mind of God that is the objective of every human being, both those who are theistic and those who are atheistic. Everyone wants to understand this world. And, at least into my reading, that's the useful information that Chesterton is defending. That impulse is what he's defending here. In his usual, very roundabout way.
Yes. Which involves pterodactyls.
Who doesn't want to involve pterodactyls? They're monstrous, although apparently not any more monstrous than flowers, which is true.
If you also think that flowers are monstrous things and that that they should be done away with from the world,
No,
please...
I don't think he was saying that we should get rid of them.
No, I was saying Mike.
Oh, maybe Mike was.
If you join Mike...
Flowers are important.
I'm very torn. They're God's creatures, but they're clearly monstrous.
If you agree with Mike, we ask that you keep your opinion to yourself. But if you have any other opinions, please feel free to go down to the comment section below and voice them there.
Anything about pterodactyls?
Exactly.
Pterodactyls.
If you've been reading along with us as we go, let us know what you think. If you haven't, let us know what you think of what we said.
It's never too late. Hop on board.
Exactly.
This long essay was like, what, 8 pages?
Now that you've gotten past this really long essay, this is a perfect jumping on point for anybody who wants to get in on the reading.
6, as opposed to the usual 4.
Exactly. So, go down below, let us know what you think. Hit the subscribe button and the bell next to it so you'll be notified when the next one comes up. The next one is...
A Defense of Heraldry.
Oh, that sounds like that'll be a good time.
Unless it's all about people named Harold.
No. I believe it said heraldry, not heraldry.
Okay.
The words are spelled differently.
Yes.
I'm not good at spelling.
Hit the like
I
button.
wasn't going to say it.
She's not good at spelling, which is why we have to check all of her spelling for her.
We probably shouldn't make her do all the typing.
Probably not. This is poor planning on your part.
Very. But we're also very, very lazy. So until next time.
Remember to live your faith.
Love your faith.
Share that love.
It is not difficult to realize that all of us, ignorant or cultivated, are primarily interested in murder and lovemaking. The real extraordinary thing is that the most appalling fictions are not actually so popular as the literature which deals with the most undisputed and depressing facts. Men are not apparently so interested in murder and lovemaking as they are in the number of different forms of latchkey which exist in London, or the time that it would take a grasshopper to jump from Cairo to the Cape.